Good day, everyone. I'm Jeremy Osterberger with Big Magazine. Today, I'm joined by Carrie Phillips, plant manager at Chevron Phillips Chemical Orange Plant. Carrie, what's happening?
Well, good afternoon. I'm excited to be here today with you.
It is the highlight of your day, I know.
It
So,
is.
so awesome. Well, thanks for coming on with us. We hung out at the Golden Triangle Business Roundtable and Safety Awards in Beaumont, and thank you for being a part of that. I'm actually going to start there, Carrie. Talk about that. That's where we met. Tell us a little bit about your relationship there with the GTBR Safety Awards. So.
Absolutely. Um, you know, I was so excited. All the plant managers, we had most of our plant managers in the area get up and actually present the awards. This is an award that we nominate our best contractors for. And so that means we hold our contractors to very, very high standards because we need the folks that will operate safely every single day, do quality work, and fit within our culture. And I was so proud to get to nominate the contractors for the orange plant as the other plant managers were there, and to actually tell them who won what. So it was a very proud moment. Our contractors have a lot of pride in that event to be one of the nominees. It's very meaningful to them. It's quite an honor. So I was very happy to be there because our contractors are part of our family at Orange. We cannot do what we do every day without them, and we know that, and we appreciate as for them to be part of our family.
Yeah, no question. And we'll get back to sort of your safety record at the site overall and get digging into more safety in a minute. So Carrie, talk about yourself. I mean, what all do you do there at the site and sort of how long have you been in your current position?
Sure, sure. So I became the plant manager at Orange in January of 2023. So I've been here about a year and a half. Um, I'm really responsible for the performance, our culture here at the site. I'm responsible to make sure that my team has the resources they need to do the great job that they do. And I'm really proud to work with an amazing team. And we win awards left and right from safety and break records. And I'm pretty competitive, so I like to set those high standards. But I get really excited to be part of this team and lead this team to all those wins. It's fun.
You talked about your competitiveness. Where does that come from? Did you play sports as a kid, or how
Oh,
did
I did. I did. I was a gymnast. I was a diver, and I was on track, but also competitive in my schoolwork. So yeah, pretty much every part of my life I'm competitive in.
were you always a STEM kid? Like, were you into sciences and stuff? Or
Oh, totally. But weirdly, like I wasn't going to go into engineering. I was going to be a journalist. Because I used to be on our school paper. And then I was winning all these awards for science and math. And my dad's an engineer, my mom's a math teacher, so I come by this naturally. But they said, "Don't you want to consider like engineering because you're pretty good at all this?" And I never looked back. Loved it. Went to A&M, Texas A&M. I have my bachelor's and master's in environmental engineering, which is a little unique now that I'm a plant manager because most plant managers come up, they're either chemical or mechanical engineers.
right?
So yeah, I did my environmental engineering, went on, was in consulting, did a lot of work, working with other companies uh, for identifying solutions for compliance and for emission reductions. Joined CP Chem in 2011 in the environmental space, worked in the EHSS space for several years, and then was at our Sweeney facility and got my first chance to step over into operations. That's a bit of a unique story. I'm happy to share if you want me to. But
Yeah.
loved it, love operations, and got a chance then to keep moving up on the leadership side. And this opportunity came available in Orange, and it's been my favorite job so far.
And you're from the area, or where were you born?
No, no, I grew up in Colorado.
Oh wow.
My dad and my mom are from San Antonio and Bandera. But they moved there when I was 5. So grew up in Colorado, but Texas A&M just had that call. If you know Aggies, we like to stick together.
I'm an LSU guy, so I don't no clue what you're talking about.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, no clue what you're talking about, Carrie. No, I love it. No,
Don't we
abs-
play you this weekend?
Yeah, we'll come out with a victory. I'm not too concerned.
We'll see.
There's that competitive nature coming. So, well, let's get into the site. So, talk about the orange plants. I mean, what's kind of the short history of the sites, and
Sure.
talk about some of the products y'all produce. But talk about the history if you would. So,
Yeah, sure. So we actually were Spencer in the 1950s, eventually bought out by Chevron. And then in 2000, Chevron and Phillips Petroleum, now Phillips 66, joined forces, and most of their chemical assets went into the JV that's now known as Chevron Phillips Chemical. And so that's who we're part of now. Gosh, we're going to be celebrating 25 years next year as Chevron Phillips, which is incredibly exciting. So if you think about what we've done from 2000 on, here at this plant, we make plastic. So we take ethylene from the pipeline, and we make a whole lot of plastic. It's high density blow molding plastic, and that is turned into a variety of products that improve people's quality of life. So you think about your milk jug in your refrigerator at home. That's one of the resins we make here. It's one of the plastic types of plastic we make. If you think about liquid detergent bottles, you think about coffee cans, Folgers plastic coffee cans, polyethylene pipe. You start hearing, the safest way to move water and is through polyethylene pipe. And so our resin makes a whole lot of polyethylene pipe. So all of those different types, we don't make those products. We make the plastic that goes into those products. Last year, I love to compete. I've already told you that. So last year we had a record-breaking year. We've made over 1 billion pounds. First time this site has ever done that. So that was incredibly exciting. And this year we hope to do even better.
so Carrie, you mentioned some of the assets at the site. You said you have two high density reactors. You have some extruders. Talk about some of the assets there as well.
Absolutely. So we have a loop reactor and we have a gas phase reactor. And then both of those have extruders. And of course, we have load out assets as well and utilities. So both of those, they make different types of plastic, the loop and the gas phase, but they both make plastic. And then we take it and we send it out on a rail car.
Okay, cool. All right. So, Carrie, folks like to hear about projects. What projects or expansions or maybe other investments have been made recently at the Orange site?
Sure. So, we haven't done big expansions at this plant outside of, I think, gosh, I'm going to get the date wrong now, but about before 2000, we debottlenecked and expanded our gas phase. But since then, we haven't done big expansions. What we focus on is how do we continue to reduce downtime and how do we make sure that we're always making the best quality product. And so for both of those items, we look for opportunities to input projects that allow us to either reduce downtime or make better quality product. So in that space, we've done some changes on our gas phase reactor that allows us to have less downtime.
Okay.
We've done some changes on our extruders that allow us to have some better runtime, and then some of our knives on our extruders. So lots of different, maybe smaller projects, if you will, when you compare across the street to our big Golden Triangle project. But all part of continuing to make more product and make better product to make sure that we give the best product to our customers.
Sounds good. So you mentioned the Golden Triangle Polymers project, which is of course a JV between CP Chem and Qatar Energy. Yeah. So you look across the street. What's going on there? Where is that project at now? So,
Yeah, so they're in the building phase. Every day I live in Orange, so every day I drive by, I'm like, man, somehow they've got more activity and more reactors and more stuff right out on that field. I keep counting cranes to see if there's any cranes left in the area that are not actually on that site.
yeah.
But no, it's exciting. It's so exciting to see where they are in that project. And they are still ready for a 2026 start, which is super exciting for the company.
That's amazing. So how do y'all tell me about that nomenclature? I mean, they're coming up. You can't call them orange. So how do y'all delineate?
Yeah, so it has been interesting, right? We are the orange plant, and they're right next door, and so sometimes they get called orange. So like I tell everybody, we're the OG, we're the original orange. So if you're not here in Orange, we're the OGO, the original orange plant, and if you are here in Orange, we just call ourselves the OG.
I love it. Straight out of Orange. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's amazing. Well, nothing gets better than that's great. Okay, fantastic. And so one question is, does the original Orange plant, is it going to tie in to the Golden Triangle Polymers project in any way?
No, we're not integrated. What they will be doing, just like any of our ethylene facilities, they'll be putting ethylene into the ethylene grid, and then we can pull off the ethylene grid. So it's not unheard of that we may be getting their ethylene just like we get Port Arthur's ethylene. So
Sounds
it just depends on who's taking what at the time.
great. Good. Thank you for taking time to explain that. So, look, CP Chem has been focused on projects aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and improving energy efficiency across operations. I mean, have you seen some of those initiatives at your site?
Yeah, absolutely. So sustainability is really woven into our business. And we get really excited about it here at the Orange plant. We really look at two different ways that we think about this. It's emissions. And so how do we reduce emissions? We've done just this year, we did a flaring project that helps us automate the amount of nitrogen into the flare. And so that way, if you could back out some of the nitrogen, you can back out the fuel gas that you need to take that BTU value up, and then overall reduce your emissions. So we implemented that this year. The other way we look at that is how do we manage our plastic? Being a plastic producer, and I just said we made 1 billion pounds last year. We don't want to lose any of that to the environment,
Right.
and we don't want to impact our communities that way. So we've had multiple projects put in the last several years. Very exciting this year. We have a vacuum heel system that we installed, which cars unfortunately come back to us from customers with what we call a heel. So they leave pellets in the car. I wish they'd take them all. They paid for them, but that's okay. They send them back to us. So we used to wash those out, and we have systems to do that. But if you get too many heels back, you can overcome that system, and then you end up with pellets outside of the sump drainage, still within the plant, but not in the sump that it needs to be in, and we have to go clean that up. So we implemented this vacuum heel system so that we actually just vacuum that out. Now it's dry pellets that we've brought back. We put them in a rail car and we can resell them.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Have you seen that replicated at other sites, or do you think that's native and unique to your site?
So it's a best practice we've learned from some others. Our Sweeney Old Ocean facility, when it was built, it was actually so that was our Gulf Coast one, part of our Gulf Coast One projects. It was actually built with this system, and so I've seen it in action there, and very exciting that we got to implement the same thing here.
How cool. That's neat. That's a really cool thing to talk about. All right, awesome. So we talked earlier about the GTBR safety awards. I want to get into safety at your side. I mean, what do you contribute to your success? And is it a particular change in your safety program? Has it been longstanding? And we talk about what's been implemented there at the site.
Yeah, thanks for that. We've had multiple years of zero reportable injuries, zero tier one, tier two process safety events, zero reportable environmental events. These are how we measure ourselves against others in the industry and against our own other assets across CP Chem. I would say this really requires a dedication to day in, day out, just focused on safety. We do this through several safety tools. We have our tenets of operation, which are 10 rules that you either always or never. We have our life-saving rules, which others around the industry have implemented as well. But I think one of the biggest things that we also talk about day in and day out is stop work responsibility.
Mhm.
Several years ago, we used to say stop work authority. We've changed that as part of a journey to zero refresh. And the reason we changed it is, and I liken it to the analogy that an officer has the authority. If you're speeding, don't speed. But if you are speeding, they have the authority to stop. But they may choose not to. They may decide they want to stop somebody else, or they're just not in the mood for that day. Hopefully, I have no officers looking for me after this.
Yeah, right.
But stop work responsibility is really about you see it, you own it, you have to stop it. Not that you have the authority to, you have the responsibility to.
Gotcha.
And so I think that's part of the culture we've always had here at Orange. is that we're all in as a team. And when it comes to looking for hazards, fixing those hazards, we're all part of that effort day in and day out with our contractors. That's what makes the GTBR safety awards so special for me, because they really are just us. They're just wearing a different name. But we're all in for the same thing: good quality, safe work every single day, every minute of every day, because it only takes 1 minute that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and somebody gets hurt.
That's right.
But you ask about what other things have we done different. I get really excited because here, I have such energized. My team is so energized and so excited of trying different things. Last year, we have so picture a little baby orange head. We call him Crush, Orange Crush. If you're familiar with the soda. And he was cute and he was all about hazard recognition and hazard mitigation. But last year, we said we need to upskill this guy. And so we came up with Crush as a superhero. So now it's this superhero that has an orange head who's got his hazard wheel. And it's really just about, just getting that recognition that we're all superheroes to our families. We leave and go to work every single day, and our families want us to come home. We're their superheroes, and they want us to come back and safely, right? So we want everybody to recognize themselves in that superhero and make sure that they're practicing those concepts of crushing hazards and recognizing hazards. And then this year, we kind of built on that. That's the word I'm looking for. We built on that, and we incorporated some human performance concepts as part of Crush. And so we do what we call Crush walks. And so we walk around. Field presence is a huge thing at the plant, making sure folks are out in the field, having good conversations with the teams, making sure we understand how work is being done. But basically, also identifying, is there a better way to do the work? Is there a safeguard that's necessary that the person doing the work probably knows better than I do if they need a different safeguard. So
Yes.
Let me learn that, and then let's implement that. Or is there a hazard we need to take care of?
Gotcha. No, that's cool, man. So I got to get a hold of this character. It's like a T-shirt or a figurine I can get a hold of. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I wish I had one in my office. We'll send you a picture. How about that?
I'm all about it. That's awesome. I'm waiting for like the next Marvel movie to come out. And it's,
We need to make a whole video on it. I agree.
we'll split the profits, Carrie. We'll split the profits.
I love it.
So, okay, let's get into some challenges. What challenges have you faced as a plant manager, and what stands out?
Yeah, so when I took on this role, we started staffing up at Golden Triangle Polymer. So I would say one of the bigger challenges we've had is we've trying to seed our culture right over at Golden Triangle, that good orange culture. We want to make sure we have it over there too. But that creates a challenge for us, that we've had a lot of turnover in personnel. It's okay, because what we've been able to do is bring some really talented, fantastic folks from external that have been excited and want to work for CP Chem, and really support our culture, and also bring new ideas to us, innovative ideas, things that they've seen in other places. So I would say that's been one of the challenges, just making sure we have that good knowledge transfer, as we have folks kind of moving out of their roles and others coming in. But it's also, on the positive side, a great opportunity for development within our own organization. And so it's been a win, but it's also been a challenge. I would say the other challenges, first and foremost, every day, it's safety. It's safety to make sure that we're doing our job safely every single day. I think a piece of that too, if you think about who's coming in to our organization, the next generation, right? And I talk about this when we talk about maintenance a lot, and how are we getting that next generation of maintenance? Because you don't always have our craft folks. You don't always have the same folks that are working on their cars every weekend or working on farm equipment or anything like that. If they're anything like my son, they were playing video games all the time. And so that one of our challenges is we have a generation that's coming in that, maybe doesn't have all the same hands-on, but also has not necessarily seen, thankfully, some of the process safety incidents that we've seen because we've been in the industry for so long. And we don't want them to have to experience that to learn it. So we really have to figure out how to make sure that we're getting that good knowledge transfer for them, and that they are understanding the process safety risks, so that they can also work safely every single day, and that we keep those memories alive, but we don't re-experience those incidents.
Great comments, Carrie, for sure. And I think about all the generations before us and how mechanical they're. My dad and my father-in-law, just such a man, so mechanically inclined. You know what I mean? I'm somewhere in the
Mhm.
middle, but I'll never. They're like ninjas. I'll never be that level. So,
Well, I've tried to like give my son some tools, like, hey, come help me do this, and
yeah, sure.
I want to play my video game.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
he
yes.
at least knows how to change a tire. So good.
Yeah, no,
We
yeah.
got that at least.
Many a Saturday morning while watching wrestling, on the TV, my dad be dragging me outside. Hey, man, let's fix this lawnmower, weed eater. Change
Yeah,
change the
exactly.
oil. Change. Yeah,
I used to stand next to my dad and he would need this tool, and
yeah.
you hope you hand him the right tool.
But Dad, I just want to watch Macho Man. Please let me. So that's it was great, great dad. It was, and you're right. It's so important that we locate individuals that are passionate about that too, right? And I think that our industry, I think there's so many people out there that do want to work with their hands and
Absolutely.
understand things in a mechanical way. And I believe our industry is a tremendous outlet for them. And I think it's so important that we continue to message that, right? Because there are opportunities for folks that are driven by that passion. So.
Absolutely. And these jobs are great jobs.
Mhm.
And for people to realize that, you could go to Lamar State College Orange and
Yep.
get an electromechanical degree. We work with FAME right now. We have two interns here right now with us, and they're hands-on doing a work study program through Lamar State College Orange and with CP Chem. And they're going to after 2 years, they're going to have some amazing skills, amazing hands-on experience. They're excited about this. This is what they want to do. And their opportunities also to grow if they want to at some point develop into leaders of either the mechanics our craft organization, or further up into the organization. There's all those opportunities for them.
Yep. No, fantastic. Well, Carrie, let's. I want to ask a couple other questions. One is community involvement. CPK Orange engages in various community projects and partnerships. I want to give you a chance to talk about that. Would you like to share some of the specifics on kind of what your employees are involved in?
Absolutely. So, this is one of the things that I love about my role, is making sure that we are a good neighbor to our community, and that they want us to be in their backyard. Our community gives us our license to operate. So if we don't protect them, and we don't make sure that we're helping out where we can, then, we're not doing our best, in my opinion. We're not demonstrating our tagline, which is caring by choice. And so I always lead with that, caring by choice. And we really have strong partnerships with Salvation Army and our United Way here in Orange. We've enjoyed volunteering with those organizations. United Way Day of Caring has been a big part of what we do here at our Orange plant. Last year, we gave 500 Thanksgiving boxes as part of the Salvation Army. We regularly do a Christmas tree, gift drive for Orange Christian. One of my favorites, though, I have to admit, because I'm a hands-on gal, I like to build things. We recently got into Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I don't know if you know this
No,
organization.
what is that? Yeah.
But they build beds. So it's kind of two-part, but the overall objective is to build beds for kids that either don't have a bed, or they're sleeping on the floor, or they're sleeping on the couch.
Hmm.
And so they have in Beaumont, I believe, is where we do the build. And so they've set a whole warehouse where we can go and build the bed parts, and then there's delivery days. And so you actually go and you set up these beds. Might be setting up a bunk bed, a single. You might be setting up 4 beds in a house. And it's so you make the bed, you have all the bedding. So you literally leave these children with a brand new bed that they can sleep in right then. And it's so rewarding to me. It's so rewarding to my team because we also are a lot of hands-on. We love like that moment of like seeing those kids' faces, how excited they are to have that bed. So that's been really exciting. We have delivered over 100 beds in our area. So we get really excited about that. We also have a variety of employee resource groups. And we take the opportunity through those to do different things in the community. One of them during Black History Month, we went to West Orange Stark Elementary School, and we read to children. We read books about Black history. I also always take the opportunity in those moments to talk about plastic and how important it is to their daily lives.
Nice.
Little bit of dual purpose for me.
Sure. No, I think that's fantastic, and I appreciate that you're tying it all together. So what a neat. Well, those are some really neat initiatives, and I appreciate you sharing about that. It's important for us to share that. So, Carrie, I'll wrap up with this question. Look, what do you hope for the site? Where does the site go from here?
Yeah, so I am incredibly competitive. And we talked a little bit of that before we started. So I was very excited about that £1 billion last year. So what I want for this site is that we continue to grow our culture and we continue to uh, break our boundaries, right? We continue to get those wins every chance we can. I think that's exciting for the team to have those wins. It's also exciting to do it and important to do it safely every single day. So I want us to keep our records around safety and our environmental performance. I want us to keep breaking those winning records because that really motivates and inspires. And I think also making sure that our folks feel like they are heard and they get the career that they want. It's very important at CP Chem that we understand every one of our employees' desires to develop and grow. So I want that for each one of my folks. And then, finally, I want to make sure that we're still continuing to be the neighbor that our community is excited about, and
Right.
continuing to help our community, part of all the activities that happen in Orange.
Well, Carrie, we had such a good time with you. Thank you so much for jumping on. Appreciate you and your team for setting this up and allowing us to have some of your time. And appreciate everything you do in the Orange area and really the greater Golden Triangle Industrial Corridor as it relates to safety and the safety community.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
For everyone listening, we're so grateful for you as well. For more news, videos, podcasts, and project data, visit bicmagazine.com. Hey, remember everybody, it's what we do together that counts.